Probably just static would be my guess. It would be nice if it was ocean vibes, but unfortunately, no. But all right, let's start getting into it here. So obviously overnight here, uh, we had a bit of a nice failed breakdown. Um, uh, Try now. I think it should be all fixed. Let me know. Okay, cool. Alrighty, yeah. So yeah, we had a little bit of a sell here overnight. As you guys can see, we essentially put in a failed breakout here of the mode 2 range we've been in, and kind of grinded down starting yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, and just kept kind of grinding down until overnight, and into the night we kind of kept selling. Tried to put in a couple of failed breakdowns along the way, nothing really sticking. The 75-75, there was an attempt made at a failed breakdown, didn't really stick. 75-33, there was another attempt at a failed breakdown on the way down, didn't really stick. And so, every pop has just kind of been sold so far, and that's kind of where we're at right now, with bears being in a little bit of a short-term interim control. So the best setup from here down is going to be the 74-68 failed breakdown here. And this is the low from last Wednesday, a little two-touch shelf low here. That's going to end up being the best trade on the table today to watch out for. So that'll be kind of the main watch. A couple of other setups we can talk about. One you could potentially add to the watch list that wasn't on there last night is the failed breakdown here of 74.91 or so. That is the low from essentially the overnight session. So that is potentially a trade to watch out for. It would qualify as a significant low. Obviously it wasn't necessarily pre-planned or written about before, but it is a valid failed breakdown spot in a low. If you are looking to potentially play that, you probably want to see some good momentum come in through that level to try it. And then above there, we still have the 75-33 failed breakdown. If we can get an actual roll trigger on that again, that could be something of note to play again. Obviously, the major difference is we're going to be coming in from much lower. So you want to be a lot more patient with how you approach that and take that. So other reminders, it is obviously Friday, so the usual Friday reminder. If you've had a green week or a good week, make sure you don't let that go red. The other reminder is it is OPEX today. So if we do get some shenanigans and things like that, you may want to be watching for that. As well as we do have Michigan data at 10 a.m. Eastern today as well. That sometimes can be a little bit of a mover. And yeah, those are the things on the docket for today. So it's been a bit of a tougher week, I know for sure. I mean, even for me personally, it's been a tougher week. It's just some of the price action and environment we've been in has not been super easy. So let's try to see if we can get something good today to end the week off at least strong. If not, we'll regroup, talk about the good and bad this weekend, and get into it for Sunday night and Mondays and then into next week's session. So yeah, that'll kind of be the conclusion of this week's streams. So like I said, watch out for 74.68 failed breakdown. The 74.91 failed breakdown is potentially a valid spot if interested. Otherwise, you're going to be looking at higher at 75.33 and entering on that failed breakdown at this point. So, I think the easiest thing would be we get the 74.68 failed breakdown, and we can kind of go from there. Below there, really, there isn't a ton of stuff. It's going to be kind of white noise for quite a bit, with the next thing just being a 74.08 macro failed breakdown. So that'll be the only thing below there to watch out for. So that is it from my end. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, we'll hop off in a minute and watch the opening of this market and see what we get. Alrighty then, we'll hop off. Let's watch the opening bell here and see if we can get anything. Alrighty guys, take care.